Hi, I'm Tereza with PotomacBeads. Today we'll be working on my Crystal Tubelet Wrap, which is made as a double wrap bracelet, or you can wear it as a choker as well. You can also make it shorter and turn it into a simple bracelet. We will be working with our tubelet beads, 2-hole spacer bezels, we will add crystals, and overall this is quite a simple 2-needle project, so if you are a beginner you might give it a try to this one. If you need any of those materials, you can go below the video into the description box where you will find all the links. If you need to purchase something, gather them and we will start working. I have ready 2 needles because this Tubelet crystal wrap will be easier if you make it a 2-needle project. I'm working with Wildfire, and I cut a fairly long piece of thread, so I could go back and forth with my bracelet, with my beading, without the need adding an extra thread. I might actually, but we'll see. So we will start with the tubelets and 2-hole spacer bezels, working our way to one side of the bracelet, and then I'll go back adding the rose Montees. You can either make it a simple bracelet like this, so it's just a short bracelet which goes once around my wrist. But today I had a different plan and I want to make it longer. I want to make it double that size, so you have actually a double wrap in the end, which you can also wear as a necklace. So that's the plan for today, and I will actually keep it here, and let's start. So I have here tubelets in pastel petrol, and we will start with a right angle weave stitch. So let me put 3 tubelets on one needle, then slide it into the middle, and then pick 1 more tubelet and go with your second needle through the tubelet from the other side. Again, slide to the middle, and this is your first little window where we later put the rose Montee. Now spread your needles and on both needles put 1 tubelet, 1 11/0. I'm using Clava Red Milky 11/0s. So tubelet on the second needle, 11/0 on this needle also, and then take the first 2-hole spacer bezel in the gold color and put it on your needles, followed by 1 11/0, 1 tubelet. You can slide it a bit down, so you have something like this now. And now we need to close this segment. So again, to start the right angle weave, put a tubelet on 1 needle, and with your second needle go through the same tubelet from the other side, and then you can slide everything down. Position the beads nicely, and we will continue. Actually, this is the whole progress. So you will start with the little right angle weave here, and then you will continue with adding the bezel and adding again right angle weave window. If you want to, you can add multiple windows, you can change the segments. That's definitely your call, how you decide to make your wrap look like. And that's it. You may notice that in the beginning the shape is not super regular, but later it will change because you will put here also other 11/0. So to add the next segment, put one tubelet on each needle, slide them down, and to finish up the window, take another tubelet, put them on one needle, and go with the second needle through the tubelet from the other side and slide it down. Now I will again put there the spacer bezel and the Miyuki. So one tubelet on each needle, one Miyuki on each needle, the 11/0. The spacer bezel, just watch out so you have the bezels facing up the same direction. 11/0, tubelets, slide them down and pick another tubelet, and through this tubelet also go with your second needle through the other side and again slide. And like this, continue until you reach the length you want. Don't forget to count in the length of your clasp. I'll be using the tube clasp, the 2-strand tube clasp. So don't forget to leave like 1 centimeter length, which will add extra. Like for necklace it's fine, but when you are making a bracelet, 1 centimeter is definitely a length you want to count in. So I will continue like this, and I will catch you up later when we will be adding more crystals. I reached approximately the length I need. Just one tape. Now the bracelet or the necklace is actually a bit longer than it will be in the end, because when you put there the 11/0 and the crystals, the tubelets will get a bit closer to each other, so the length will be a bit shorter. So that's why I'm not putting a clasp on this side yet, because in the end you might actually find that you might want to add one more window here or also on the other side to make it symmetrical and adjust it to the length you need. So definitely wait with the clasp and see how the beading goes. So now I will go back and we will start adding the rose Montees and the 11/0s to the little windows. Now we'll be actually working with the needle split. So one needle will help us to add the 11/0s alongside the whole project, and the second one will be adding the crystals. So put one 11/0 on each of your needles, slide them down, and now you can go through the tubelets on the sides. And this is the point where the needles will split up. So it doesn't matter with which needle you will go where, but if you somehow manage to have some actually one of those threads longer than the other one, I would recommend keeping that one for the crystals. So I will be starting with the shorter one and adding the 11/0s. So this is my shorter thread, and now I am coming out here of this tubelet, which means I am close to this gap. So I'm adding one 11/0 and I am going through the tubelet, the 11/0s and the bezel, exiting near the other gap. where again I will add 1/11. Going through the tublet, adding another 11/0, and like this I will go around, adding always 1/11. Oh, actually I made a mistake here. I forgot the 11/0s. So will this help? Yeah, probably. So that was my mistake. Sorry. But continue like this. And then at the end just turn around. And go to the other side. And after you go around, you should already see the true length of your project. So when you get to here, you and back, here then we can add the clasp or make a longer segment, and then we will add the crystals, and as we work our way on the other side, then there we will add the second half of the clasp. So go around the whole project, and then we will be working and adding more beads. When you reach the corner, simply just continue and turn around, adding 1/11 to each corner and going back like you did on the previous side. I have reached the end, and the thread I was using is now coming out of this tubelet and just hanging out here. I'm keeping that, probably I will use it for the clasp. It is rather short, so maybe I will have to switch, but I will try my luck. And now it's time to add the crystals. So with the second needle, go, which is now actually exiting the tubelet on the side, go through the tubelet in the middle to the other side. Now pick 2 15/0s, rose Montee, I'm using SS20 light cyan color, and go across back to the tubelet, position the Montee facing up, pick 2 more 15/0s, and go through the rose Montee, and 2 more 15/0s, and back through the tubelet you started from. And now we need to get to this little window, so I will go through the tubelet, the 11/0s, and the 2-hole spacer bezel. You can split the way definitely if you have issues to get through everything at once. And we'll be adding a second crystal. So get first to the tubelet here, so we start from the same point, so get through the 11/0 and the tubelet on this side, and then also down through this tubelet. Pick 2 15/0s, rose Montee, 2 15/0s, and go across and down through this tubelet. Then pick 2 more 15/0s, 2 more 15 rows after you went through the rose Montee, and go back down through the tublet, and that's another Montee. And like this I will get again through the third window. So I am going through the tublet, the 11 rows, the 2-hole spacer bezel, and to get to the further tublet of this window I'm also going through the 11 row, the tublet on the bottom, and then up through here, picking the 15 rows, the rose Montee, 2 more 15 rows across from through the tublet, 2 more 15 rows, through the rose Montee, and 2 more 15 rows and through the tublet. So if you want, you don't have to use 15 rows, you can totally use just 11 rows, but I prefer the more delicate look of the 15 rows. I also picked quite light thread, so you might want to switch to something which is more correspondent with the tubelets, for example, so something a bit darker. And like this I will go around the whole project, and then we will be adding the clasps. And let's just have a look, because I will in the end also glue in the chatons, and we will use the red color. So in the end it would look like this. So let's add all the crystals, then the clasp, and then finish. When you finish the other side, you can again test that all is fine and the bracelet actually fits. So on my hand it will sit nicely, even more nicely when I finally add the clasp. So using the same needle you were working on the crystals with, while exiting the tublet on at this place, pick 5 15 rows, then go through one of the holes of the clasp, and then go back through the first 15 row and exit on the other side of the tublet. Now pull, adjust the seed beads, and pick 5 more 15 rows. Position the clasp and go through the hole again, and then back through the first 11 row, the first 15 row, and through the tublet to the other side. And the clasp is there. Now I would recommend just going without adding any seed beads. Go through all 15 rows from the loops to strengthen them, just to be sure that the clasp will stay in place. Go to the other side, and also go through the seed beads. And after that you are good to go, and you can knot off somewhere the thread on this side. So I will finish by going through the tublet so all is symmetrical. And then I will go a bit away, finding probably somewhere here in the corner a piece of thread between probably the tubelets is the safest choice. And I will pick the thread, create a loop and go through the loop 2 times, pull, and then going with my needle away from the knot, I can now cut the thread. And on the other side I will do the same. So exiting the tubelet here, I will pick 5 15-ohs again. Now you just need to be sure that you actually position the clasp correctly. So let me check. So on this side I have it like this, which means the cap on the other side needs to be this side up. So going through the top loop, then back through the first 15-oh and the tubelet, adding 5 more 15-ohs, going through the second loop, and back through the first 15-oh and the tubelet. Now again position the seed beads so you have 2 15-ohs on one side of each loop. Go again through the loops and tie the knot, and then all what is left to do is to glue in the crystals, and after that the wrap is finished.